All right. Hopefully this is working. I'm assuming it is. I guess I should give it a check and see. We're about to get like super bad thunderstorms, so I'm hoping also that we don't lose power or anything crazy like that. Because that would be nuts. Oh my gosh. Hi. I know it's been some time since I have been. There we go. I think it's working. I feel like you have a little bit of a weird delay, but that's okay. We're going to just work with it. Hi. And I just want to grab my tarot decks before I forget. And hopefully not fall out of my chair while I'm doing it. It's fine. It's all good. If you are here, if you hear me, and all of that good stuff, say hello and let me know that everything is working the way it should. Oh, it's really been a hot minute before I've done live, and I do hope to start kicking back up with that again at some point. I say that, but life has been lifing quite a bit lately, so there I am. I'm just making sure I'm popping up. All right, cool beans. So here I am. All right. So also, I did want to go ahead and talk a little bit about Stardust Wanderer Tarot, what's going on with it, and all of that good stuff. So I have the first edition of Stardust Wanderer Tarot, and this has been my labor of love, my first deck baby, and it is going to be not sold personally by me, so you may be able to find it in some stores, and I'll give you a little bit more information on that. But after this month, actually after like in the next 2 weeks, I personally cannot sell this first edition anymore. So there is about 30 left on Amazon right now because that's where I'm selling them out of. It's just easy for logistics and whatnot. So if you want a first edition Stardust Wanderer Tarot from me, then you can go to Amazon and you, I put a link on the bottom on Instagram. That was new and I never tried it before, so hopefully it works. But it's very easy. Just go there, grab it, and you're done. And then after June, I do have a very special place that I know has some signed copies, and I will reveal a little bit more than that. But I would really love to get these last 30 decks a home so that they aren't just living in a box in my bedroom. To be honest, because I love my deck and I would really love to share this first edition with everybody. And then the end of the month, then we have the mass market edition, which is going to be coming out, and that's with US Games. It is available for pre-order. Honestly, having each one is a wonderful collector thing to do. So this is the mass market one. And as you can see, the box is a little bit different. All of the artwork is exactly the same, except for our Emperor and our Empress. If you know, you know. And this one has gold edging, and the back is a little bit different. So, and then the guidebook, of course, all that good stuff in there. So this is the second edition, mass market printing by US Games, and this is available for pre-order now. So then we have the first edition. This is my box and I dropped it. Don't drop your boxes because I'm clumsy. So this is the first edition one. This is the one. I have 30 left on Amazon right now. So if you want to help support that deck and get that going, I would deeply appreciate it. Like I said, with probably the middle of the month, whatever isn't sold on Amazon, I'm going to just have sent back to me, and then it's just going to be hanging out here because I personally can't sell it. So that is something, that is why you see me posting a lot about it, because I really love to find them a home. And so this is the first edition. See, the glitter's a little bit different on the edging rather. Here, let me see if I'm coordinated enough to do this. Just to kind of give you a little comparison. So this is the first edition, and then these are our shiny, look how shiny that is, mass market edition. And then here is the back of this one, and here's the back. Nope, that is a lie. This is the back of the first edition. So you definitely want a copy, and you have the whole Stardust Wanderer team, the whole universe of Mina and her space pirates, and the gods and goddesses, and all of those wonderful things. This is such a fun deck, and it really gives you some great answers. And the story that's in it, it is based off the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, so anybody can pick it up and read it. But it does have its own story. It's definitely got its own space pirate twist to it, and it's so much fun. And then this is the guidebook for the first edition. So like I said, it's a little bit different. Not a lot as far as the book goes. They're pretty similar. The covers may be a little bit different. Mine is a little, the first one is probably, I don't know if it's a tiny bit bigger, but let me tell you something. That tiny bit bigger on this guidebook really messed me up as far as the deck box needed to be a little bit bigger. So that's just kind of the run through there. So go run to Amazon. There's 30 left, and I had it posted on a couple different places, and like 30 people saved it. So there's not many left. So go ahead and do that. And then once those 30 are gone, I do have a secret vault, AKA a store that is holding some ransom. So they, I know they are putting them in their books, in their blind date with a deck right now, and it's super awesome. Amityville Apothecary, they have a whole bunch of them, and so that's really where that's going to be the first edition home base. After I get my 30, I just want to I don't want to say get rid of, but I want them to have a home so they're not sitting in a box, because they deserve to be out in the world. And like I said, you head to Amazon and grab yours today. And then while you're there, you can pre-order the US Games version. So this is the US Games version right here. Like I said, it's pretty much the same. The only thing that I will say, because I'm going to be honest, people were not kind with the little snafu with the Emperor and the Empress. But this is from the US Games edition, and look at right as rain, friends. So it was really honestly very, not to sound corny, but kind of an emotional thing that US Games really believed in this deck enough to pick it up and help me kind of write that. And I do feel that in Stardust first edition, that did happen for a reason, and I did offer labels that actually work really freaking well, and the company that did that for me, that was my solution, and that was the only solution that I had. So anybody who's published and dealt with printers or anything like that, you know that it's unforgiving. And so it's kind of like, I kind of look at it as like a rare stamp. You know how like they printed that one stamp with the airplane like upside down, and now it's worth like millions of dollars. That's where I'm going with this. That's what I'm thinking. So you definitely want this first edition. You really do. And, you know, while we're at it, let me just grab. My book is out as well, so you definitely want to take a peek at that. I have a couple of other things in the works, and I'm really excited about all of that as well, and to announce all of that. And so let's go ahead, and here's the mass market deck. We're gonna put this bad boy in the box for now, because you know what, we're going to do some readings with this first edition, and I'm going to read for every sign of the zodiac, because why the heck not, right? Why not? Let's do it. If I can get I have small hands, so sometimes when I shuffle it's quite complicated, so I tend to be a side shuffler just for that reason. But let's do it. Let's do some readings for each sign of the zodiac. So also, as I'm doing my weird side shuffle, let's talk about where I'll be. So the 21st of this month of June, I'll be at Spellbound Books in Orlando area, and I'm going to be doing a book signing and a beginner tarot class. So excited about that. So if you're in the area, go to Spellbound Books and you can buy a ticket, and you also get my book is included in the price, so you get one of my books. Here, let's see. You get my book. Woo. And you also get a tarot class, and I will have decks on hand to buy if you don't have a deck of your own. So that is really super exciting. And then I'll be at Mystic South in Atlanta in mid-July. We'll be talking about tarot and using tarot for grief, finding joy. And then I'll be doing a book signing right after my talk. I will have my Enchanted Forest Felines there for a purchase. I will have my Stardust Wanderer Tarot. At that one, I will have my US Games version there, because like I said, after the next couple of weeks, I can't sell the first edition of Stardust Wanderer Tarot anymore. So if you want a copy of it, go to Amazon and grab it now. And then in the fall, I will be speaking and doing a book signing at Books and Books in Key West, which also happens to be Judy Bloom's store, which is super cool. So let's do a couple of readings. Let's do some readings here for each sign of the zodiac. So let's start with our Aries friends. So we have the Five of Chalices. So with the Five of Chalices, it's all about kind of looking around at what's there when you're disappointed. If something's been going on in a situation and you're really disappointed in the situation, how it turned out, the players in the story, all of that, try to look for the silver lining. Try to see where you do have full cups. You know, you see these two cups that are still full. Even though these knocked down, you still have those two full cups. And really, it's looking at the bright side of the situation. Maybe it happened for a reason. Maybe it needed to happen, even though you don't recognize that it needed to happen right now. Most likely, what's going on needed to go on. So then that brings us to Taurus. So for our Taurus friends, we have the Three of Swords. I guess the cards aren't playing today. Like, they're just not playing. So Taurus, Three of Swords. It's time for some growth in a situation, which means it might be time to leave a situation or a relationship. And that can be friend, that can be love, that can be work, whatever that relationship is, because you kind of see the sword like right through the middle, right? And it's time to kind of remove that so the other two can go their separate ways. You're hanging on to something that isn't meant to be. And this is kind of your indication of, all right, Taurus, time to let go. Time to move along, let go. But it's good. It needs to happen, and there's a reason why that's happening. So next we have Gemini. All right, Geminis. Our Gemini friends, we have the Knight of Oars. So with this Knight of Oars, he is just kind of, he's not in motion. You know, a lot of the other knights usually are in motion, and he's not, because he's just kind of taking in what's going on around him. And he is celebrating his small successes that may be coming his way, but it's time to really plan, decide how things are feeling for you. Is the situation how you want it to be? Is the situation going the direction you want it to go? If it is, great, continue on. If not, it may be time to change plans a little bit. Maybe some clever maneuvering. You're Gemini. You got all that brain power to figure it out. I have faith in you, Geminis. So then that brings us to Cancer. All right, Cancers. So with Cancer, we have that Six of Chalices. And with the Six of Chalices, Cancer, it's about remembering all of the good things that have brought you to where you are now. And they may not have been easy things. I didn't say easy things. I said good things. So knowing that, recognizing how much you've gone through, what you've done, and where you're at now, and giving yourself some credit, but also remembering those who helped you along the way. And it's always great to visit memories and feel that, you know, happy energy, if that's what that, you know, memory that is coming up for you right now, but also not to get stuck in that energy, and to recognize it, to honor it, to give it space, but then to make sure to keep moving forward and looking forward. Don't be stuck in the past, Cancer. And for a lot of people, that's really hard to do. It's really hard for people to not stay in the past and not be able to look forward and move forward because of all of those things that may have happened. But I think it's about that reminder of giving it that time, giving it that space. But you know what? Let's keep moving forward. So then that brings us to our Leo friends. All right, Leos. We have the Two of Coins. So Leos, right now for you, it's all about harnessing balance, or kind of reinstating your balance. Do you feel balanced? That's the question I have for you. And whether that's a yes or a no, act accordingly. And also remembering that you are capable of doing all of the things and helping all of the people, because we know our Leos have a very big heart, but also remembering that balance. Remember to take care of yourself too, Leo. So now we have our Virgos. All right, Virgos, what do we got for you? Virgos, we have the Nine of Oars. Nine of Oars. So you know, nine is also, we're almost to completion, right? You're almost to the end of something, Virgo. And right now, things may be weighing heavy on you. And you know that you set everything in motion, just like these oars. They're sitting there in perfect line where they need to be. And being able to kind of recognize that and know you set the scene, you did what you needed to do, you put things where they needed to be put. And now it's that time to just take a minute and then trusting the universe to go in the direction you need it to go. So really, Virgos, it's about trust and trusting the universe, trusting yourself. All right, Libras. So our Libras, we have death. With this death card, it's not a physical death, but something needs to die in order to regrow. And or not even to regrow, just to grow, you need to make space. And with this being a major arcana card, it's going to be something pretty significant. So Libras, it's time to really make that change. If you've been trying to decide, should I do this? Should I not do this? It's a card of, it's not going to be easy, but it needs to be done, and you will be better for it afterwards. I almost kind of feel like we have this kind of running theme going through all the cards, right? Is make the decision, do the thing. And it's going to be a little scary and it might feel a little sticky to you, but it's a part of your growth. It's a part of your process. And if you don't have it, if you don't let it happen, and if you don't control that narrative, it's going to happen anyway. And it might be a little more chaotic. So take control of what's going on. And so that you can kind of be the director of how things fall when they do. And so that brings us to our Scorpios. And with our Scorpios, let's see what we have here. Woo! I almost drew all the cards down. And not in a jumper kind of way, a card jumping kind of way, and Jen's being klutzy kind of way, just to clarify. All right, Scorpio. So with our Scorpios, we have our Four of Oars. So this is your reminder that, your base is secure. Things are okay. So let yourself enjoy them. Let yourself enjoy the things that you have built. And don't be afraid to let your guard down, Scorpios. Put that stinger away for a couple minutes and go do something fun. All right, Sagittarius. All right, Sagittarius. We have the Knight of Swords. So Sag, with our Knight of Swords, it is a moving energy like I had talked about before. And with you, it is doubly moving. Things are moving at super speed. And you'd like to have things happen in a speedy way, but this is going to be almost a little much. But you need to know that, you need to decide how you want it to go. And again, is controlling that narrative. And knowing that you can say what you need to say in a quick way, but effective way. So quick, but effective. That's what we need from you, Sagittarius. And that is something that's right up your alley. So lean into that energy. Next, we have our Capricorns. All right, Capricorns. Let's see what we got for you. We have the Four of Coins. So Capricorn, this is that holding on to everything, and you're holding on to it, and you don't need to be holding on to it all. It's not going anywhere. You created that empire. It is your empire. It's not going anywhere. And it's all about loosening that grip on controlling everything going on around you, leaning into your intuition, letting things happen the way they're supposed to. And I think that's really important for you, Capricorn, is letting things happen the way they're supposed to. That doesn't mean they're going to happen the way you want them to, but it is the way they're supposed to. So this is kind of your reminder, loosen your grip a little bit and let things go how they're supposed to go. Next, we have Aquarius. All right, Aquarius. For some reason, Aquarius needs an extra little shuffle. And that is the Nine of Swords. So something has been really weighing on your mind lately, Aquarius. And this card is just kind of validating that, I suppose. But it's also about letting go of that worry. What can you do to let go of that worry? How can you move past that? What's done is done. What is it is. What it is. And there's really nothing you can do about it at this point. So laying around worrying about it, obsessing about it isn't going to help you. So my challenge to you is create one action step today to move forward. And that's really going to help you move out of this worry type of anxiety energy. If you need to go outside for a few minutes, practice some mindfulness. Honestly, just sit in your car and listen to a couple of good songs. That's what you really need right now. Maybe a little extra grounding to kind of move you past that, because what's happened. And there's nothing you can do about it at this point. So I think it's also accepting that. Next, we have Pisces. Last but not least, always our Pisces friends. So with that, we have the Eight of Chalices. So it's really time to move on. It's time to leave behind maybe some limiting beliefs, maybe some bad habits, maybe some bad people. If you know what it is when I'm pulling this up, you know what it is. You know what it is, Pisces. And you want everybody to be happy all the time, and you want to be accommodating, and you want things to work, and you want everyone to just be happy and smiling, like I just said. But this isn't working for you, and you need to really focus on you right now and what you need and how you're feeling. Everyone else will be okay. You can help them after, but you need to help yourself first. And that's really important, Pisces. And that's a wrap. That's a wrap on all of our zodiac signs. Sorry, itch in my eye. And I think that that was like a good run. And again, this is our first edition Stardust Wanderer Tarot deck. And I cannot personally sell these after like the next 2 weeks. There are less than 30 copies left on Amazon. So go there, get your copy now. And then you can go ahead and pre-order the mass market edition over here. But we have a lot of time to play with that too. So you have options. But I would really love to get these friends a home so they aren't just sitting in my home. And I would love to just, Nina's story needs to be told. And this is my first time telling my story of Nina and the first edition. It's a very, very special deck to me, and I would love to share it with you. I'd love for you to have it. So go ahead and head to Amazon, grab your copy now. After the next 2 weeks, I am taking the listing down because I cannot sell this once baby number 2 comes out. So this is your last chance to get it. I hope you enjoyed your readings today. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, go ahead and put it into the chat and I will get to it. Like I said, I'm trying to get back in the habit of doing more lives. Things have just been a little chaotic around here. And also I do plan on doing a Q&A for my Manifesting by the Moon book. So if you have the book, if you don't have the book and you have some questions about the book, I'm going to do a live about it. And so I will make a post and you can put all your questions in the post and I will answer them. And honestly, if you have any questions about the moon in general, I will answer all of the moon questions I can. So look out for that post. Hopefully, maybe in the next week or so, I'll do that. I'll be at Spellbound Books in Orlando on the 21st of this month of June. So if you want to come hang out with me, a book is included in the price of admission for the ticket. And we are also doing a beginner tarot class. So even if you know tarot, it's still going to be a lot of fun. And you know what? If you already know tarot and you come hang out with me, you get a book, I can sign it, we can chat, and you can help me out in the tarot class. I'm all for helpers. And then at Mystic South. So if you're going to be at Mystic South, I'd love to see you as well. All right, everyone, you have a fantastic day.